Hello everybody, this is Jason Samkoviak with the Traditional Bow Hunting and Wilderness Podcast, and I'm going to show you a little video demonstration that's going to explain to you how I mentioned in one of the podcasts I mentioned about dealing with trees that are too big in diameter. I'm going to take a second and I'm going to show you how I handle those situations for trying to get a stand in those trees. What I have is I use a bunch of different kinds of stands. These ones here, like this with the chain on style, these ones, I have two of these that I designate as big tree stands. And the reason for that is because I like the simple adjustability of the chain. They're a little heavier, a little more tedious to put up with the chain versus a simple strap, but for trees that are bigger diameter, I really like them. How do you know if a tree is a bigger diameter than your stand can fit? What I do, as I mentioned in that podcast, is I always carry a piece of rope or cord with me that's the same length as the chain is that's actually on my stand. So this way I know when I get out there and I'm looking at a tree and I'm going, okay, I'm going to hunt that one. I'm going to, come back out and I'm going to climb in and hunt there. Well, if I want to know if my stand will fit, I can take this string, wrap it around the diameter of the tree and see if that's going to fit on there, or if I'm going to need to modify and go with a bigger chain or something like that on there. Now I carry a black one, which is for my stands, and then I carry a piece of green paracord, same kind of thing, but the green one is for my sticks. It shows me the diameter of the straps that are on my sticks, so I know if they'll fit as well too. So just a little tip for you, something as simple as that can save you a lot of grief and trouble when you actually get out there to hunt it and go to put your stand up. So that's the method I use to tell me if I need it. Now if I have to go to a bigger stand, or I need to get a stand in a tree that's got a bigger diameter than the standard chain is that's on my actual stand or my strap that's on there, what I do is I note that in my actual documentation, my logbook. I'll write in there, that it has to be a bigger stand and I got to bring my bigger, it's a BD for bigger diameter tree. I know that this is the stand, one of these kind are the ones that I have to bring out there with me when I hunt that particular spot. How I make it longer, what I did is I bought some extra chain. This stuff here, I just connect it right on the end with a simple twist lock carabiner, and it's very strong, rated for way more strength than the chain itself is for breaking string. But I connect that together. Now I have got all this extra length. I put about an extra 5 or 6 feet of chain on there, but it gives me all this extra chain now to be able to make that so that it'll fit around the diameter of that tree. Very simple, very easy. It works like a champ. It gives you the option to hunt those bigger trees, but that's only part of the equation is the stand. You still have got to find a way to get up to that stand. Here in Michigan, we cannot use screw-in steps on public property, which is where I hunt, so it's got to be something that straps to the tree. So what I do for those is with my sticks, which I use these simple Gorilla type climbing sticks. I've been using them for a lot of years. I love them. And what I do is I actually made just some simple webbing loops that are made out of real heavy duty. This is 800-pound strength. They were ratchet straps at one time, but I took them apart and kind of cut them and then frayed them. But I made some loops. One's about yay length, the other one a little bit shorter, and then one that's kind of shorter than that. And I've made these loops so that I can use them to extend the straps on my sticks. How I extend them, what I do with it, is basically just take the end of this loop and I feed it right through the loop that would go over that part on my stick that holds it. That loop's going to go around and hook right on that connector point right there. Well, what I've done is I take this, I kind of just feed it right through the end of this strap right on here like this so it sticks out like that. Then I take this and I feed it through and I pull it good like that. Now what you have is you have this looped in there, and now I can have all this extra extension out here that I can use to make that longer. And then when I wrap that around a tree, I just hook this loop right onto my connector point there, just like I would with the other piece. When I'm done and I'm done hunting that big tree and I go back to another one, it's actually pretty easy to just push this in and get enough wiggle room out of there where you can pull it apart like this real easy. It doesn't lock on too tight. Once in a while they'll give you a little bit of a fit, but I've never had it where it took me more than a couple of seconds to be able to take these off and then go back to using these sticks on a normal tree just like I would. And then I carry these extensions in my backpack all the time. Because even then you run into trees where you need a little bigger base or bigger diameter on the bottom, but once you get up to the top, your tree stand will actually be able to fit. So I always have these in my backpack. They don't weigh much and they fold up tight and they don't take up a lot of room. I just ball them up and throw them right in the bottom of my pack, and that way I always have them with me. But these will allow me to extend the strap system out on these to get up there. And then if the top has got too big a diameter for the tree, adding that extra chain to a chain on stand works great. If you're not using a chain on stand, you can use these, like on my Lone Wolf stands. If I want to, I can actually do the same thing I did on my sticks by feeding this through that strap loop and then running it through itself so that it pulls that good, and then I can use that as an extension on there also. By having 3 different lengths of extensions, it makes it really nice from the fact that then if I only need to use a little bit, I got one that's only a little long. If I need a longer one, I got a longer one. If this one's too big, I can double it up and then do it that way. So it's just a real simple technique that I've been using for a long time. It gives you the available options to be able to deal with varying diameter sizes of the trees. Here in Michigan, we hunt a ton of different trees, and I don't ever usually hunt the same stand. I have 4 stands that I put up and I leave up all season because they're in great spots that have always worked for me. But most of the time, 99% of the time, I'm carrying a set of sticks and a Lone Wolf stand on my back, and I'm going in, and the trees have already been kind of scouted out and picked out, and I know where I want to be, but I haven't actually been in them until I'm ready to hunt them. For most of the time I do. I bring a stand up, hunt it, and bring it down with me when I'm done sitting, and go on to the next one for the evening hunt to somewhere different or whatever the case is. I'm very mobile and moving all the time. This system allows me to be able to fit those bigger diameter trees. This rope system allows me to be able to determine if I'm going to be able to get in there with my normal stand, or if I'm going to have to use these, or if I'm going to have to go with something like this. I have right now, currently, I got about 11 different trees that I like to hunt regularly that have in my log book of my stand locations, it says BD for big diameter, and that means that on the mornings whenever I'm going to hunt that night before the hunt, when I'm sitting there at my computer and I'm going through weather.com and picking wind directions and looking at my logbook on where I'm going to hunt. Well, if I end up picking a spot that says BD, then I know that I'm going to go out to the garage and I'm going to take this stand instead of my Lone Wolf, because it's a lot simpler for me to put on that tree with the chain link system, and it works great for that. So just a little tip for you if you're dealing with trees that are bigger diameter, and then also this is kind of a neat little tip for how to know ahead of time if it's going to be a big diameter tree. So a little tip for you. Again, this is Traditional Bow Hunting and Wilderness Podcast, and I will be back with more stuff for you soon. Thanks for watching. Talk to you in a bit. Bye.